Hello, Moon to Moon. I'm recording this episode, my final episode of 2025, under a Taurus moon, waxing, waxing towards our full moon in Cancer coming up here. So we have the sun and the moon in earth signs. I've been feeling very close to my work, to my dreams, to my desire to be a good steward for my end of the year processes, staying close and intimate, listening, receiving, and sharing. I wanted to put out this episode as an opportunity to share my voice, to feel myself sharing my voice in the hopes that it will feel supportive to me and supportive to you, giving presence, giving our ear to the year that we've been through here. I have no notes. I have pulled some cards. I've got my journals from the year out. And I have a loose idea of some of the things that I wanted to share with you. This will be one that you may enjoy listening to, kind of like a dark moon download, since it's the dark of 2025, looking at the Gregorian calendar. I teach a lot on time. I feel myself quite skilled with time in many ways, even though I feel quite unskilled in other ways. Um, I'm daily in the act of unshaming my relationship to time and uh, opening to wonder at my other kinds of gifts with time. I'll share more about that in a minute. And I teach a lot on time. I guide a lot on time and mentor a lot on time. Astrology is, of course, a technology for relating to time, for attuning to it, for syncing with it, for sitting down inside of it, being with it, but also for playing with it, for having a great time with it, for making magic forwards and backwards through timelines, which to me is very much what we humans are doing here. It just feels true to me that we came here to be in these bodies so that we could experience time. And I feel very, very happy when I am living my days in conscious relationship to this. Divination is very much a way of co-creating with time. And it's a way that you can support yourself with and that you can support other human beings with. I am constantly listening for words, questions, pictures, new ways of talking about time. I am relentlessly interested in sharing what I've learned and supporting others in relating to this thing called time that I think has become, for us humans, our greatest terror. Oh, ooh, I just felt like five different pathways emerge there. Like, which one do I go on first? Yeah, our terror of time. I'm not beyond this terror, for I also am human. Yeah, I've been really feeling a lot of this lately. It returns with the winter solstice and winter and Capricorn, Saturn ruling Capricorn, Lord of Time. I've spent a lot of December avoiding moving through a grief portal that basically came and got me. It came for me right at the solstice day of. Um, yeah, I really, really didn't want to go there, as one does with grief. Oh God, I just didn't want to. I kind of avoid grief like I avoid throwing up. I've always been one of those people who, um, like throwing up is the last resort. I have a daughter like that, and then I have another daughter who's like a vomiter. Like she just like throws up all the time. So I see this in people. Like we have these different kind of constitutions, and I've like thrown up really not many times in my whole life. And it's a last resort kind of thing for me, the way grief is. Even though I feel like I have a really deep relationship with grief now, and I talk about grief all the time, and I do let it in. Uh, it kind of, it, I kind of just, I kind of just want to give my consent. But sometimes grief, um, yeah, grief's just there. Grief is just there for me when I'm slow enough to let it in. So I started telling people a few weeks ago, I'm going to be having a big grief spell. It's not going to be today, but just so you know, it's coming. If you can tell, you might be able to tell I'm holding something back. Hey, no big deal. It's just I'm going to be having a big grief portal. It's just kind of like I will let everyone know when it's time. And um yeah, yeah, like a few days before the holidays peaked, we did our big dinner on the 23rd since my daughters and Matt's kids were going to their other parent on the 24th. And a few days before it, I just announced like to everyone, I'm not doing very well today. And then as soon as I uttered that via text, I was like, gulp. Oh, this is the day. This is the day. Yeah. And I just put my phone down and I just went and laid in bed and just cried and cried and cried and cried and cried. For some things, I know very well what they are. And for many things, I can no longer remember. Yeah. And I got to remember the a thing that I talk about, which is that, the energy in resisting, the energy in the resistance, is like it's it's keeping us from so much else. And once again, like I felt so much better once I just let it roll as long as it wanted. And then just had that kind of like very, very, very calm, quiet energy the rest of the day. And then the wind rises, the wind rises. Yeah, it's been a long year for all of us and so full of so much beauty, so much magic in this year. In many ways, too, it was also just so brutal. And I think that I just really appreciated having the space to just be with the whole of that and just let my moaning body honor all of it. Mm, yeah. So we come by our terror of time. Honestly, we're, we're afraid of death. Even when we know that's probably amazing. It's really about losing the ones we love that we fear, I think, and just how much we'll miss their presence, which just loops us back to life and presence and just the sweetness of being here together, enjoying the wonder. I felt a lot this winter that this time of year, we make it so hard. We here in the West, with our terror of grief, we make it so hard when we insist that this holiday is all about awe and wonder and magic, because this is just untrue to what is real, which is that there is always grief and wonder. I watched my 16-year-old become quite melancholy before the holidays and just held her hand because she thinks that she's alone in this, because of the way it seems. But there's so much intimacy in our sharing the melancholy and the grief of the return to the holiday season. It's okay to miss what's no longer here, who's no longer here. It is sad. And it feels so lifeless, trying to pretend like the past is the present and perform something like things haven't changed. In order for us to be intimate with one another, we have to be able to acknowledge the grief of what we've lost so that we can be with the wonder of what is present. Yeah. So I understand that for many people, the Gregorian calendar feels like a false thing that should just be ignored. But this feels like arguing with what is real, um, because we have aggregated energy around the Gregorian calendar. It's been going on quite a long time. Many people agree to this calendar on a daily basis, all day, every day. So it is what is that we have a Gregorian calendar in overlay with the wheel of the year, which brings back things that are repeated and also brings back something new every single year. And while I always honor the lunar cycle, the 13 moons of the year, I love to honor the arrival of the sun to each sign and honor the cycles of the other planets. I think it's quite crucial to honor their Gregorian turn as a way of honoring what is. And what is that we actually do agree collectively to a turn to 2026 in what will be 2 days from now, in a day from when this is published. And I love this practice. I love to be in the transitional. I love to be in the liminal. I love to be at the threshold. I love bridges. Yeah, I just love like this opportunity to sit down and orient. In Living Emergence, which is my year-long community space, we talk a lot about wayfinding, which has always been a central framework for my relationship to astrology and how I talk about astrology as a navigational support tool for being here as human beings. And in the framework of wayfinding, we begin with orientation or reorientation. And you can do this in any moment of any day ever. And I just find it very important at the turn to be like, where am I? Like, where am I? Where am I? You know, what do we have? as human beings on planet Earth, we have time space coordinates for where we are. Like, that is what we have. It's where you are right now and what's around you. Where are you? And orienting to me is like the most grounding thing. It's so anchoring. It is like how to get back onto the path, the feeling of being on a path. And so we orient. And how do you orient? In order to understand where you are, you have to understand where you've been. And so for me, this time of year is very much around looking back practices. Right now, I'm currently teaching some of these to in my newsletter, and these are things I teach every year. I would say that for me, the looking back process is first of all about data collection. I go through my journals and skim them, and I'm practicing everything as data. This means keeping an arm's length from it emotionally. This means withholding judgment. This means not pathologizing. This means not even giving anything a meaning. Just, oh, that was here. That happened. That happened. That happened. That happened. That happened. Data. It's just evidence. The beginning is just allowing myself to see everything as evidence. I need to drain out all my stories about it because I really can't look at evidence objectively if I'm projecting these stories onto it. That to me is just like not skillful interpretation. So, data collection, field research for 2025, just turning every page of the journal and just that happened, that happened, that happened. Only after I've been through that practice can I begin to see, well, from this view, I can now recognize that there are certain patterns and themes that are emerging. Now that I look at it all again, I can see that there's a kind of curriculum at play here. And of course, being the nerd that I am, the word curriculum is a very exciting word. There's a kind of curriculum that's going on here. It's an itinerary, it's a syllabus, it's a table of contents. It is like this is all being laid out. I see now. I see now that that is connected to that. I hadn't seen that before. That is a pattern. I see now this repeat word. I see now this repeat conversation. I'm seeing now this repeat dream. I'm seeing how this links over to here with that. Oh my gosh. Look at this curriculum. Okay, I'm in this curriculum. What are the themes? What am I learning? And only then do I bring in, okay, what were the big transits? What were my big cards? So that I don't put the archetypes over the data. The data needs to tell me what it is first. And then I bring the archetypes to the curriculum so that I see a more expanded view of the archetypes. And in this way, all of the data stays on the table and I don't kick it off because it doesn't work with what I think that transit was supposed to be bringing me. It's a very expansive way of relating to astrology in a looking behind you practice. And in this way, I will come to an understanding of I know where I am. I know where I am. I am in the middle of this curriculum and it's about to turn. I'm about to like move into a new hook with it, a new notch. And in this way, I can then bring in the archetypes that are forthcoming. So all of these things I'm going to be teaching at the next Mystics Making Money, which is going to be my time teachings, revolutions, not resolutions. So stay tuned. But I wanted to share with you some of these behind the scenes practices since we're meeting. It's pulling up my calendar. We're doing it the 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th this year so that we can end on the new moon in Capricorn because it's excellent. And that will be like, boom, we have like reset together for moving into 2026 officially. Seeing everything until then as a process of reorientation. Okay, so I hope you will join me. There will be more information and more opportunities to come play talked about in the next week or so. Registration won't open until like the 9th or something like that. So there's no need to rush on any of that right now. Just stay tuned because I'll be teaching along the way of the promo. But yeah, I wanted to share with you what's already coming through regarding this last year. A really big theme that is here given our Hermit year. We had a Hermit year. And if you don't know what that means, 2 plus 2 plus 5 for 2025 equals 9. And then the ninth card of the major arcana, card number 9, is the Hermit. So there was kind of, I mean, it was what we thought it would be. Like so much was moving under the surface, but you may feel like you didn't see it as externally as maybe how you wanted, or maybe you don't feel like you're left with as much evidence as happen in terms of major shifts, or maybe like it's all been emergent underground, but the external manifestation is yet to come still. I mean, I definitely had a major manifestation year, and still, I also feel like I've been like reborn internally. And there was like so much behind the scenes, like so much that is behind the scenes of my life was changing, releasing, getting cleared, getting healthier, getting stronger. Definitely for me, there was a lot of like sixth house, 12th house affairs, given that those were the nodes and the eclipses were in my chart. So I feel like last year like was setting this scene for these big waves to come in this next year, but um yeah, I mean it like took a lot. I don't know about you, but for me it like took a lot from me at like every level. I feel like kind of been disintegrated and I'm still cohering again, is what it feels like. And yeah, I'm also in this moment of just like, um, coming back to the poignancy of time, just like I have so much I want to teach, I want to write, I want to create, I want to bring through. And sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I going to get to all these? Like, there's just only so much time. Like, things are slow. Processing is slow. Like, root building is slow. Like, systemic health is slow. Like, um, what if I could trust that everything's unfolding right on time and that all of these wonderful, wonderful creative beings that want to live through me will find their timing in ways that will amaze me and delight me, and everything's going to be okay. Um, yeah, I've been really struck lately with just that feeling, which I think is very Capricorn, of like just the sincerity of wanting to be a good steward for my gifts, for my privilege, for what is shown to me, for what I know that I could create a home for in this world. And sometimes like I'll feel like this choke, just like what if I'm not doing a good job, you know? And it's like it doesn't feel like an inner critic, you know? It feels like just really sincere, um, not wanting to fuck it up. And I think that that is just so sweet. And it is about having a relationship to time and the time that we have here. We have this time here. And, you know, like, what if I work so hard I miss my daughter's becoming? You know, that's been like a theme my whole motherhood. And what if I'm so busy creating that I miss out on, you know, there's only so much we can give our presence to. There's only so much we can turn to at once. And it just reminds me of something that I said to a wonderful student in emergence astrology year one who was nervous about being able to stay true to the hermitage and to be able to stay true to her commitment. And I told her, this is not a place to check boxes. This is about turning toward, turning toward. I mean, you know, as a Pisces, a big old Pisces, like I can't live without checklists. Like I, every day I got a new list because it is my highest desire to stay true to what I've committed to turning towards. And some of those things are super creative. Some of those things are active. Some of those things are executive. You know, some of those things are managerial. And some of those things are just super 12 house. And I still put them on my checklist because they matter. Like, you know, lounging with Matt, forgetting what time it is, put it on the checklist. But so unshaming checklists, and it's like a matter of attunement to each one, like breathing into the fullness of turning toward in order to fully be with it, to listen to it, to respond. Yeah, like that is a huge theme of 2025. And I haven't even gotten to what I was going to tell you is the theme that I feel is like a major, major theme of 2025, which is the lantern of the hermit. It has to do with turning the light on to turn towards, and letting yourself, letting another, letting the creative inspiration that's here, letting the service of the task at hand reveal itself to you. This theme of reveals and revelations has been really big for me in the final quarter of 2025. It was a big theme in our living emergence initiation. Um, and it's been coming back to me as keywords. And one of the things that I've been reflecting on is things like, what do I love about running? And what I love about running is I reveal myself to myself as I move through space and time. That's what running is to me. This is what I love about journaling. This is what I love about listening to my guides and just letting it be revealed to me. Getting a puppy, learning about being with this wild little being, helping him be here in our family, attuning to him, but also listening to like, what do I need to create structure here? Like that relationship revealed itself to me. I allowed it to reveal. It reveals. Every day, my beloved reveals himself to me. And this like theme around like allowing life to reveal itself, feeling into that with your light on. Like this is the hermit is taking the lantern to life so that life can reveal itself to you, including you revealing yourself to you. Every time I write, it is a self-revelation process. And it is not that difficult to think about what activities of life are not revelations. What functions, like what's not a revelatory experience and what is. And maybe I'd like to say no more to that which is not a revelatory kind of way. What if all life can be a revelation in some way, depending on how I relate to it and turn toward it? This feels really powerful as a creative practice and a life practice for being in a responsive relationship to ourselves and our ecosystems in a world that is changing, that is regularly changing, and definitely will continue changing in 2026, which will be a very different year with a very different flavor. So much of when life is hard is when we're refusing a responsive relationship. When we want it to be like we thought it was going to be, when we're wanting it to be like it was last time, we can bump up against these disappointments because we had a picture and we're letting that picture be what we are submitting to, what we're worshiping, what we're serving, rather than what is here, rather than what is emergent, revealing itself to us. That would really not take that much energy just to respond to. So I'm really feeling into that a lot lately. And now we move into this Wheel of Fortune year. It's also a magician year because it's a 10 year, which is 1 or 10, depending on how you want to look at it. Very, very exciting. 10, the Wheel of Fortune. I mean, what I know is absolutely true about this card is that it does not necessarily mean every day is a great day. It means we are holding ourselves through being in a circle. We are in a spiral. We are in a wheel. We are in the revolution of the planet Earth, turning inside of cycles. And everything is always shifting, even as there are returns that feel similar to how they felt before. And this is a Jupiter card. We are in a story. We don't know what's next in the story. We don't know. So, whatever is here today, shame is what has us projecting onto the future our idea of the past, our idea of the present that is shitty, which we got from past shame. And this kind of mess is what I like to tease out in my January time teaching. So stay tuned. Um, but to me, the Wheel of Fortune means learning how to be at the center of yourself while the wheel is turning, which is going to turn, and you don't know what's next. And is it good luck or is it bad luck? Is it good fortune? Is it bad fortune? You really can't say because you don't know what's going to happen from this experience. You don't know the next turn. And so fortune is really just this like thing that we're riding. We're in a ride while we're here. And we're learning how to ride these waves through space and time. And I think that having this relationship to life as a revelatory experience, you are in charge of your lantern. You are in charge of what you look at. You are in charge of what you give your attention. You are in charge of time. All time is your time. It's all your time. The responsibility of that can sometimes be collapsing for it, but it is true. This lantern is yours for your time here. And I think that when we make it all about serving our quote unquote purpose, things feel so heavy, and it makes it seem like there's this hierarchy of attention between purpose and purposeless. And like, if something's not part of our purpose, does that mean we shouldn't enjoy it? I think the problem with purpose is that it shames purposelessness, and purposelessness is often where we find some of our most fun, delightful experiences, which sure enough will funnel us right back into purpose. So to me, there needs to be a different gauge. There needs to be a different gauge for deciding what we put our lantern to. And if we have the more shame that we have, the more likely that we're going to not trust ourselves to hold our lantern. We'll use our lantern to try to fix ourselves compulsively, or we will think that we don't have permission to look at some things with our lanterns and not others. So, hence, unshaming is always really helpful, and anything that I would want to talk about, even though it's not the primary thing that I want to talk about. I teach unshaming because it helps us get closer to what I'm actually interested in, which is magic and being here as human beings, embodying time, space, in the moment that we have together as stewards of planet Earth. I was talking about the lantern. Yeah. So I'm really feeling this and inviting you to feel this idea of reveals and revelations, and noticing, like, in a day, what do I put my lantern to? And is this something that like reveals life back to me in this kind of aliveness experience? Or like, am I seeing life revealing itself to me inside of this uh, act of turning toward with my lantern? And when I think about it like that, then I start to notice where I want to put my no. It's not about shaming our attention. It's just about reorienting, right? Like, when you reorient, you now understand things so much better, so that from orientation, we move into wayfinding step 2, which is root decision. And so I don't like to make root decisions ever unless I've done some proper orienting. Because, like, if I haven't oriented, how can I make a wise root decision? You know, I need to know where I am first. So then, root decision is like the casting out into the future, it's the divination, it's the intention. It's like, I am moving towards this, yes, because I understand that this would be the intelligence of that, given the curriculum that I've been living and giving the archetypes invitations that are coming. I'm going to sync up with this divination and this intention, and I'm going to move towards that. Then the third step is navigation, which is us moving through time space on a day to day mundane basis, living that act of deciding our route and all the stuff that comes up with that, which is the business of being alive with one another, where shit comes up that we didn't have planned. Didn't have that planned. So, how do we hold ourselves through these things? Those are also the things that I teach, because that's how you have more confidence in your root decision. Is you're like, whatever comes up, I know how I'm going to resource myself. I know how I'm going to be there for myself as I navigate holding with my root decision that I made, including my capacity to shift that decision if it feels like that's what I'm going to be needing to resource myself. And then the fourth final step is destination recognition, which is something that we hold playfully inside of Living Emergence, by playing with the horizon, because you really, like, what is a destination from an emergence point of view? We're always moving towards this horizon that feels like it's really calling to us, and regularly reorienting to that route. So that just feels like such an important aspect of all of this New Year's turning toward. Yeah, so I'm sending out a really big hug to everybody wherever you are. I hope you are being gentle and compassionate, curious, and humorous with your liminal time. Maybe you have no desire to even think about, like, and that 2025, 2026 for a while to come. I hope if you want support, I hope that you will come and join me in Revolutions, Not Resolutions. That will be what I mentioned, middle of middle of January, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Everything will be recorded. You do not need to be at anything live, but of course, live is very fun and high sensation, and you get the chance to be more interactive when you come live. I like to make it either or, because some people really love asynchronous. I'm one of those people, actually. And some people really love live. And so all the mistakes making monies work either way, so that it's just best for your learning style. More about that will be announced soon in Instagram and in my newsletter. So keep your ear close if you are feeling like my approach to time could be really helpful to you as you release 2025 fully, as you come into your understanding of your orientation right now and like where you are right now. That's what I'm going to be helping you with there. Going to be giving everybody a chunky PDF full of journaling questions to kind of just make it feel like this really rich experience of self revelation. Because I don't really understand how anyone can manifest um, without like a deep seeing of yourself, you know? Um, and I feel that so much that magic becomes just so much more fun and effective. I'm very interested in effective magic, efficient, effective, practical with my Capricorn moon. Um, we are so much more effective the more we like really turn towards and really see with our lantern, like who we are and where we are right now, and like what is our deepest desire, our most expansive dream from our hearts, from our hearts for the coming year. Um, for me, all personal dreams are collective dreams. Like they really can't be separated for me. I think that a lot of time manifestation doesn't work when the dream is like not inclusive enough of a larger collective vision. And I'm very excited to get there and be there for you if you come. Of course, everyone in Living Emergence will be included. And in the meantime, I'm very excited to spend the next few days nerding out with my own practices so I can feel really complete with 2025, including potentially some more tears, and then open my heart to turning toward 2026 and what all it is wanting and like what the field is feeling like and um yeah, just how to be a good listener and a good steward, which to me in this case good means not good bad, but rather like good to me means like attuned, and it's present present to it. You can't respond if we can't be present, and I want to be a responsive steward for all the things that I love and care about and turn toward. So thank you, thank you, thank you. If you've never left a review for Moon to Moon, I would love it if you would do that right now. I haven't received one in a while, and I would really love a new one. So please consider doing that if you enjoyed this episode and you've never left a review. It would be so wonderful. Thank you so much. I'll see y'all in 2026.